Hello, welcome back to my channel. I have on my desk some of tailor-made journals. She's got a kit out called Winged Secret, and it has these butterflies and these girls. Actually not going to use these. I printed them because I wasn't sure if I did want to use them. I have another set and I have them all stacked up because I have this idea. I want to put butterflies on top of the eyes. And the one that I did, I have it all stacked up with the butterflies on the little images. So, but what I did is I printed a whole bunch of butterflies on a sheet of transparency and then cut out the ones that I wanted. And then if you watched my video from Friday, which I guess is yesterday, I did some faux daguerrotype, and I used the inside of a coffee container for the silver bit, for what would give you the idea of a daguerrotype. But then I realized if you have metallic acrylic paint in silver, you can just print it or paint on like your cardstock, your 12 by 12 cardstock, and use that. It does roll quite a bit when it gets wet, but I think when I put the transparency on top of it, it should be fine. So I need to start by cutting strips about the right width of these little images, and they are about going to be about 2.5 inches. So I'm going to cut them 2 3/4 just to make sure that I've cut wide enough strips. I'm going to pull these out one at a time. They are a little bit big, so I will need to do some trimming after I get the butterflies stuck on, or I may leave the edge around it, because what I'm thinking is building a little bit of a frame to put around it, so I might leave those. So going to use butterscotch alcohol ink and just put a little bit around the edges. And I think actually I'm going to put it on the acetate because I don't know how it's going to react to the metallic paint. Oh, I like this better. Gives me a better idea of where it's gone. These images in the kit are quite pale to begin with, so it's not that they printed odd. They are very light originally. I figured this is a pretty simple little project. I could use double-sided tape, but I'm going to use glue. I liked the effect of the Barely Arts on the transparency, the last one I did before it dried. So and I'm trying to put very little glue so that it doesn't give a big bleedy clump of glue. And then try to get that on there fairly straight. Oh, shoot. I want flowers under there. So I got some little tiny hydrangeas. So let's see if we can get these on there. I guess I know where to put it because the glue has left a little line. Oh, that didn't work. That didn't work at all. Not even, like, yeah, okay. Flowers are out. Those flowers are out. I have washi stickers, so let's see if we can get some washi stickers that don't adhere to the glue. This is what always takes me forever, is trying to figure out what I want to use, especially when I've got like tons like I do here. Oh, I like that one. Come back here. And I think that will work, yep. And huh, it behaved. Yay. Put glue on that again. Yay. Hopefully that's not too bad, because that glue that was on there already is more or less dry now. And put that like so. Yeah, that works. That's not too bad. That sticker doesn't even look like a sticker. It actually looks like a real flower. I'm pretty happy with that. And then give the butterfly some stamens. Hopefully this will stick and not take too long to stick. Stay. And then I'm only going to glue along the center part of the butterfly. And what I'm trying to do is kind of line up the butterfly with the one underneath. That little bit of glue is showing white, but it should dry clear and it should stick once it's dry. So I'm going to leave that for now and work on number 2. Put this somewhere else. So number 2. So I'm going to start with alcohol ink on her. I'm just trying to do the alcohol ink around the edges, not too much into the centers. Put her upside down and let that dry for a bit. And find another one of those like flowers. Oh. Will that work? I think. That one's too big. I think I'm gonna go with that one. I like that. Put that down like so. That looks all right. And trying to make sure I have enough glue on here, but not too much glue. And I'm gonna have so many fingerprints on here. So many fingerprints. Put some glue on here. Like so. That's what I was afraid of. Okay, so let's try it like this instead. The other antenna stuck on there better. These antennae are not adhering very well, which means the body is not adhering very well either. Makes me wish I had some of those magnets that Corey Dahman has. She just plunks magnets on things when she wants them to adhere, and they magically stick. All right, number 3. Might pick the flower. I like this one. I do like that one. Let's see. I think that might be the wrong side. I don't know. Try to get that to stick. Whoa. I have my window open. I just realized that I was like working away and I'm like, oh, that's a siren. You guys are gonna hear that. Oops. My apologies. That's all right. I like that one. That one. Like so. I can't tell which is, that's got the alcohol ink on it. And like so. Try to stay on frame here. Keep forgetting to put the lid on the alcohol ink. Like so. Okay, that flower does go a little bit over her face. I should have probably put it a bit lower. But I think that'll be okay. And put that one on like so. And hope that dries. That's 3. I was gonna say, I don't know how many minutes I'm at because I keep pausing it, so it doesn't matter. I am not doing this as a 10-minute make, so. or a 20-minute make, or a 30-minute make, or a make. I'm making it as a make. Stay. That's not staying. It's being bad. Little red rose. Put alcohol ink on here, not glue. And grab another. Like so. Like so. There appears to be something marking this acetate, so whether it was on there already or whether my dirty fingers got all over that. Hopefully that's not too bad. Make that straightish. That's not glue. Sorry if my head gets in the way. All right. Another one done. Sort of. They're not quite done. I do have a couple other bits I want to do. I forgot to take the antenna off this one. So I'm just going to snip those off. Seems to work better if I glue the antenna on and let it kind of dry a little bit. With the alcohol ink. I'm going to glue it on with the alcohol ink. Seems like I am determined to do that. Okay, stay. My fingernails are getting kind of gnarly. And I need aha, 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 I found it, I found it. That will go with that blue butterfly quite nicely as well. Stick that on. Add some glue. And this will give me one more. This is 5 of them done. So these would make really good little journal cards. And because I used scrapbook paper, it does have an image on the back, but you could cover that with book page, lined paper, whatever you wanted, so that it wasn't so scrapbook papery. It would also give it a little bit of extra strength. Line that up. And last one. Put some glue on there. Stay. One more of those. At one point in time, I knew which was the right side of these images. Now, I don't. Hopefully it doesn't make a difference. I'm just going to use one of these that I already pulled out, so I don't have to go faffing about trying to find one more flower. I'll do that. And hopefully that isn't too high on there. It's interesting. I would have thought that the alcohol ink would be completely flat to the surface, but you can actually see a little line of like almost like dimension where the alcohol ink has dried, so you can tell which side is the wrong, like which side to put the alcohol ink on, which to me is the wrong side of the image. I mean, it might be the right side of the image, but now it's the wrong side. Well, it's not too bad. Move that one up just a tiny bit so it's not so much on her face. Put the lid on the alcohol ink because now I don't need it. You could also put a little bit of alcohol ink around the edges of the butterfly wings if you wanted it to look like they were distressed. I didn't do that, but you could. Now some of the butterflies don't fit on completely, but I think that they're pretty good. Let's try to straighten that up a little though. The other thing is that a couple of these, like this one, have little butterflies at the top. So I have some clear little butterfly stickers, and I could put like a little where there's an extra butterfly. Put an extra butterfly on there, like so. And that one's got a butterfly. If you want to get these little stickers off the acetate background that they're on, push at the edge of it with your thumb and it'll roll the sticker off the backing fairly easily. And these antennae are adhering in fairly nicely. Oh, I like those. I like those extra butterflies. I may put an extra butterfly on all of them. She's got one. That's too big. Yeah, I don't have very many really small ones, so I might just leave that, because a butterfly here overwhelms this other butterfly, and the whole thing is the butterflies on the face become the focal point. Now I want to take this. I'm going to cut this into strips. I'll be right back. Hopefully I now have enough strips. What I want to do is fold them in half. I think what I want to do is do it so that it comes just over that acetate on, so that it's glued more to the cardstock. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Well, it's a good thing that I decided that wasn't going to be like a 10-minute or a 20-minute make, because that took me a minute. Yeah, maybe more than a minute. But they're nice. I really like how they turned out. They're not very square, which might drive the perfectionist in me just a small bit crazy. But I'm gonna run with it. Now what I want to do is just put a couple labels on each of them. I have some washi tape that has labels, and all I did is backed it onto just random bits of paper. This one had a grid on it, so the grid comes through because it's washi, and I really kind of like that. So I'm just going to glue these on and not be too like, oh, I need to put this here or I need to put that there. I just want labels. And I would like to kind of like push the wings up a little bit, but I really want to make sure that the glue is quite dry before I do that, and I'm not sure. I'm gonna let it set overnight just to be sure, because I'm not positive that it's fully dry. I also have labels that I stamped, and some of them I embossed, some of them I didn't. Let's just leave that one the way it is. Oh, that is a sticker. So I'm not going to use it because it'll take me 9 years to get the sticker off of that. Oh, that one's a sticker too. I can tell because it's got a little red dot. That's from the Avery label. Oh. And I do like to add a little bit of glue, even though there's glue on the label, because sometimes it does not stick otherwise. Let's put that upright. And maybe not that one. Of course, it's another sticker. There we go. Two. This is kind of what I had in mind, but I'm not 100% sure that's fully dry. So let's put a label on that. Like so. And then maybe one of these baby ones. You could put labels on the top. Don't ask me why. I always seem to do this when I'm putting labels on. I always seem to put them in the lower left-hand corner. Do you have a favorite, like, if you're putting a label on, do you always find that you put it in the same place? Or is that just me? You can tell how crooked I got that because this looks, the label looks crooked, but it's even to the edge. Oh, bad. So bad. Oh, I like that one. I kind of like the fact that with this one, I used a bit of coffee dyed lined paper, and you can see the lines through the label. I really like that. If you are using a label that's a sticker like this, make sure that you take it off the backing paper. If you don't, eventually, like, you could glue it straight down with the backing paper, but eventually the label will come off the backing paper. Especially with wear. Like, if you're pulling it in and out of a pocket, it's eventually going to come apart. So you're better off to pull it apart to begin with. And is that too big? Oh, no. No, it's not. Go figure. Try to prove how badly that the edges are crooked. There it goes. Some of these are not Avery labels, and they do adhere to the backing paper a little different. There we go. All right. Little butterfly thingamies. Journal cards. The back does need something on it so that you could write on it. I just left what the scrapbook paper on there. I mean, you could leave it, but if you wanted to use it as a journal card. So the other thing that you could do if you're going to use these as journal cards, and I probably would because it will make it look a little bit more finished, is round all the edges, including the yeah, that one needs trimming just a touch. Try to get that a little bit straighter. Round the corners a little bit so it looks a little bit more finished. And then put something like writing paper in the center of that. And you've got the coolest little journal card. And of course I couldn't stop at one. I had to make like a number of them. Like so. I just think they're so cute. I love this kit. There's 6 to a page on most of the pages, 4 to a page on some of them. And all of them have butterflies. Some of them have butterflies on their feet. Some of them have butterflies above their eyes and goggles. They're just so cute. So give you an idea of something fun that you can add to a journal. And until next time, I hope you have a lovely crafty day.